Kenya today, actually, is a very different country from the country we have always known. Indeed, the country, just a handful of weeks ago, is now gone forever, although that fact is yet to sink in the minds of most Kenyans. But Kenya is a very different country today. But of course there are those who are trying to convince all of us otherwise, especially the politicians, by doing the same old, same old. As we speak, we have watched with our eyes as you, dear legislators and ODM legislators, have sat down in parliament together, very happy, exchanging jokes about their girlfriends and mpangwa kandos, etc., etc. And the vetting of the recycled cabinet of Ruto has proceeded rather smoothly. Please don't get impatient with me. We are coming back very shortly to the Nane manenos, because that is where iko maneno. But we have to build up to it by painting a clear picture of where we are as a country. In my view, there is something very positive that has come out of the vetting of the recycled CSs, mostly recycled. Of course, with some very deliberate kachumbari, spicing, of ODM top leaders in the cabinet. We all know that. It's not breaking news. The very good thing that has come out of the vetting is what I consider exposure. And not the normal exposure. The exposure of you get new information and then your eyes start to open. You finally see what you had not seen before. You finally see very clearly how rotten the country called Kenya is. Now the CSs have been declaring their net worth. Very impressive. And the truth of the matter is that it is very, very clear where that money came from. It is as clear as day. You know the most famous Kenyan entrepreneur, Manu Chandaria, who is now 90 years old. He has spent his life building up companies, building wealth. The Kenyan Manu Chandaria is estimated to be worth 1.2 billion US dollars. And of course it has taken him many, many years to get to where he is today. But our cabinet secretaries, somebody is worth $500 million. Somebody is worth over $1 billion. Where did that money come from? Because we know, and indeed we can see, where Manu Chandaria's 1.2 billion US dollars came from. But then these politicians, where did the money come from? Well, Kenyans have been able to see very clearly. It has come from a business, an industry in Kenya, a very serious money-making industry in Kenya called politics. Okay? And of course it is illegal. And of course we are talking about the looting of public funds. We are talking about situations where these individuals would never have come anywhere near making that kind of money had they not had close links with government. And of course, this realization has escalated the anger amongst the GenZs and other Kenyans protesting. Kenyans are also seeing very clearly diversionary tactics in the looming impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And in the hearts of many Kenyans, they're wishing that they could bundle Ruto together with Gachagua together and impeach them and rid the country of our major cancer, parliament, politicians. The whole lot should just go home at the same time. And even as we continue being treated to this circus, it seems most politicians are completely ignoring the relentless wave of change sweeping across the third world, where the people are saying no, enough is enough. We're fed up. And I'm guessing our local politicians are saying to themselves, that will never come to Kenya. Okay? It is happening elsewhere, but it will never come to Kenya. And if this is true, it is more than super fascinating, at least to me, because the same thing happened in the late 50s, when a wave called independence was sweeping right across the continent. The Mzungus, who believed they would live in Kenya forever, were saying, that will never come to Kenya. Ilikuja ama haikukuja? Well, history keeps on repeating itself like a broken record, relentlessly, consistently. So it is alright. What happened in Bangladesh will never happen in Kenya. Kenya sio Bangladesh. That is the thinking of the politicians. I beg to differ. Yeah. And we have to remember, everybody is allowed an opinion. The mighty and the powerful, and the inconsequential as well. Everybody is allowed their opinion. But what matters is what will actually happen in the end. And history is telling us very loudly, it will happen in your Kenya. Yeah, or at least the Kenya you politicians firmly believe belongs to you. Now, about this looming Nane, let us first of all agree that whatever happens tomorrow, there are some things which any keen analyst will already have taken careful note of. And one of them is that whatever happens tomorrow, Nane, we should know for sure change is coming to Kenya, whatever happens. It is very possible that nothing much will happen, or rather, nothing unexpected will happen, because of course we expect the police to deal with peaceful protesters in the same way they have been dealing with them for many, many years, and including since this current Kenyan crisis started. That will not be unexpected. And of course it is also possible that tomorrow may be it. Bangladesh manenos. Yeah. Bottom line, whatever happens, it will not change the inevitable future, near future by the way, which most Kenyans can see. Total change in the country called Kenya. Despite all the efforts of very powerful forces, despite the best efforts of people with real money and influence, the inevitable cannot be stopped. The wave cannot be stopped. Now the William Samoei Ruto regime comes into Nane with some very serious problems. One of them is that the international community has been appealing to the Ruto regime to stop doing what they're doing to their own citizens. However, so far we have seen no signs of this government responding to what the international community are telling them, because illegal abductions are ongoing. Yeah, and the very latest is of a blogger called Kevin Tor, who is from the Rift Valley. And the government has gone further and spelt it out to us. They have told us through official channels that they are ready for Nane. Now that is a very strange way of putting things, because you can say you're ready, to face an invading foreign intruder, but can you say the same about your own citizens, your own people, your voters? Can you really say with a straight face that we are ready for protesters who you have so far treated very brutally and unfairly because they are exercising their constitutional rights? And so, bila kizungu mingi, it should be fairly predictable how the Ruto regime will respond to Nane. That should be very predictable. What is very unpredictable is exactly how the Gen Z-led Nane will unfold. Because, for instance, in the past, we have had instances where the protesters have left it very late. Yani, the day starts very quietly, not much happening, and the day proceeds, we reach lunchtime, nothing has happened, and then suddenly the Gen Z protesters are out there in the streets in large numbers. We have seen a lot of that. Although admittedly, we have also seen the protests start very early. But Nane remains very unpredictable. And in my opinion, that is a very good thing for the Gen Z protesters and others. They have the huge advantage of surprise on their side. They have the huge advantage in any contest of being unpredictable. They have told us that their plan is to occupy. Occupy until the Ruto regime leaves. That is what they have told us. But of course we don't know exactly how it's going to play out. And indeed the government, the security boys, do not know exactly how it is going to play out, which is a huge advantage to the patriots. No doubt about that. My personal gut feeling is that we should brace ourselves, not only for what is going to happen tomorrow, which may include nothing happening, but what Kenyans really need to brace themselves for is for what is coming for sure. And what is coming for sure is scary. It is going to be messy, but it is still coming, and it is unstoppable, and we must brace ourselves for it. Now, about tomorrow, we must also brace ourselves for surprises from the Gen Z protesters, because they have been full of surprises since the very beginning of these manenos. And my gut feeling tells me that the surprise of tomorrow is going to be huge. But let us wait and see what happens. We really don't have long to wait to find out. It's just a couple of hours. Now, this is truly the season of exposure. Because as Kenyans marked August the 1st, remembering the botched coup of 1982, a lot of information has suddenly started to emerge. And this information has even spread out to other issues of great concern to Kenyans, to other mysteries that are yet to be solved, like the Saitoti, Professor George Saitoti, helicopter accident. I'm telling you, this exposure of sensitive, previously unknown information is so much that it is difficult for most Kenyans to take in and digest. But of course, most of it is not news to regulars, those who have been with the Kumekucha brand for a number of years, because they have had this information for a long time. And in case you're in the group of those who don't know what I'm talking about, you now have the perfect chance of getting all this information, plus all my previous special reports, in case you missed all of them or some of them, in an amazing package that will cost you only 19.99 Kenya shillings, 1,999, or $15. You can see details on your screens right now on how you can get this very valuable package in your email, and ultimately in your library of sensitive information that not many people have. From yours truly, stuff about the Saitoti chopper accident that will just blow your mind. Crazy information about the aborted coup of 1982, coupled with very recent information, in my recent special reports, that is now more relevant than ever. Like the one about Ruto's secrets that are still not in the public domain. And also on the General Ogolla Chopper tragedy. A truly amazing package for only $19.99. And of course, because of the sensitivity of a lot of this material, this offer is available only for a very short time. Maximum 48 hours. So you'll need to move fast to avoid being left out. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.